Petrol prices across the UK are still climbing, and most drivers are already watching every penny at the pump. But here is what nobody is telling you. The station you choose matters far more than the price per litre on the sign. We are starting with the 3 petrol stations you need to avoid, because once you see what they are doing to your engine, the 5 brands worth your money will make complete sense. Number 3 to avoid: Morrisons. Every time you fill up at Morrisons, you are making a choice that feels sensible on the surface. The price per litre is lower. The forecourt is conveniently attached to the supermarket you are already visiting. And because the fuel meets UK legal standards, nothing feels obviously wrong. That is exactly the problem. Meeting the legal minimum is not the same as protecting your engine. All UK fuel must contain additives by law, but the legal flaw and a genuinely protective additive package are two very different things. Morrisons fuel contains the basic detergent levels required by regulation, nothing more. Independent mechanics across the UK consistently report that drivers filling up exclusively at supermarket forecourts show accelerated carbon deposit build-up on intake valves and fuel injectors compared to drivers using branded premium fuel. On modern direct injection engines, where fuel never contacts the intake valves directly, detergents are the only cleaning mechanism those valves will ever see. At the minimum treat rate, carbon accumulates with every single fill-up. Morrisons petrol currently sits at around 136 pence per litre for standard unleaded. That saving of 8 to 10 pence per litre compared to branded stations disappears quickly once you factor in the long-term engine cleaning costs it quietly creates. Number 2 to avoid: Asda. Asda has built its entire brand identity around being cheaper than everyone else, and at the fuel pump that strategy is immediately obvious. Walk onto an Asda forecourt and the price per litre will almost always undercut every branded station nearby. For millions of UK drivers filling up weekly, that difference feels like a straightforward win. Over time, it is anything but. Asda sources its fuel from the same UK refineries that supply Shell, BP and Esso. The base fuel leaving those refineries is chemically identical regardless of where it ends up. What changes is what gets added before it reaches your tank. Asda's additive package meets the UK regulatory minimum and stops there. There is no proprietary detergent formula. There is no friction modifier developed over decades of engine research. There is the legal flaw applied consistently every single fill-up, which Magazine, the UK's leading independent consumer watchdog, has confirmed that supermarket fuels, including Asda, contain fewer and less advanced additives than branded counterparts. For high-mileage engines, turbocharged petrols, and modern GDI engines specifically, that difference compounds quietly over thousands of miles into reduced fuel economy, dirtier injectors, and carbon deposits that cost considerably more to address than the pennies saved at the pump. Asda standard unleaded currently sits at around 134 pence per litre nationally. The number 1 to avoid: Tesco. Tesco is the most consequential entry on this avoid list for one reason above all others: scale. Tesco operates over 600 fuel filling stations across the UK, making it one of the most visited forecourts in the country. More British drivers fill up at Tesco than at almost any other single brand. And the fuel quality conversation that should accompany that scale simply never happens. Tesco's Momentum 99 premium fuel exists and does contain a higher additive package than their standard unleaded. But their standard E10 petrol, which is what the overwhelming majority of Tesco customers are actually pumping, contains a basic additive blend that meets UK regulatory requirements and nothing further. Tesco themselves describe their standard fuel additives in the vaguest possible terms, offering no independent verification of detergent concentration, no published chemistry data, and no third-party testing results. A 2024 analysis by independent automotive researchers found that engines running exclusively on supermarket standard fuel for over 30,000 miles showed intake valve carbon deposits consistent with vehicles 20,000 miles older than their actual age. Tesco's market dominance means millions of UK engines are quietly accumulating that damage every single week without their owners realising it. Tesco standard unleaded currently sits at around 133 per litre. The saving is real. So is the cost it defers. Those are the 3 petrol station brands quietly costing British drivers more than they realise at every single fill-up. Now here are the 5 that are actually worth your money. 5. JetJet does not have the marketing budget of Shell or the brand recognition of BP. And that is precisely why millions of UK drivers walk straight past it without a second thought. That is their loss. Jet petrol exceeds British and European specifications and contains a genuine detergent additive package that goes above the regulatory minimum. For a brand sitting at this price point, that level of engine protection represents exceptional value that most drivers simply are not aware of. Jet is operated under the Valero umbrella, one of the largest independent fuel refiners in the world, which means their additive consistency is controlled at the refinery level rather than being left to individual forecourt operators. That matters more than most people realise. The biggest quality variable at any petrol station is whether the additive package is being applied correctly and consistently. With Jet, that question has a reliable answer. Independent fleet operators across the UK have used jet fuel for decades specifically because of its consistent engine protection at a price that does not carry the Shell or BP premium. For everyday drivers who want genuine additive protection without paying top-tier prices at every fill-up, Jet sits at the most sensible entry point on this list. Standard unleaded currently sits at around 138 pence per litre at most Jet forecourts. 4. Texaco has been a trusted name on British forecourts for over a century, and the reason mechanics and long-distance drivers keep coming back to it has nothing to do with brand loyalty. It has to do with Techron. Texaco Supreme Unleaded contains Techron, a patented cleaning additive developed by Chevron, one of the most extensively tested fuel additive technologies available anywhere in the world. Techron does not simply prevent carbon deposits from forming, it actively removes existing deposits from fuel injectors and intake valves that have already built up from previous fill-ups with lower quality fuel. Texaco Supreme Unleaded exceeds British and European standard specifications BSEN 228 and contains a full performance additive package including detergents, friction modifiers and corrosion inhibitors. For modern direct injection petrol engines specifically, where fuel never contacts the intake valves directly, and detergents are the only cleaning mechanism those valves will ever see, Techron's formulation is one of the most effective solutions currently available at a UK forecourt. Texaco operates around 1,000 stations across the UK. Supreme Unleaded currently sits at around £1.55 per litre, placing it comfortably below Shell and BP on premium pricing, while delivering an additive package that independent automotive engineers consistently rate as genuinely competitive with both. 3. BP Ultimate. BP Ultimate is where the conversation about premium fuel in the UK genuinely starts for most drivers, and the reason is BP's active technology additive system. BP did not simply add more detergent to standard unleaded and call it premium. They developed a specific cleaning molecule technology designed to target carbon deposits on fuel injectors and intake valves simultaneously, breaking down existing buildup while preventing new deposits from forming with every subsequent fill-up. BP Ultimate Unleaded is 97 octane, making it compatible with engines that require or recommend higher octane fuel without stepping up to 99 RON. For the majority of modern turbocharged petrol engines fitted to mainstream UK cars, 97 octane with BP's active technology additive package represents a meaningful and measurable improvement over standard unleaded in both engine cleanliness and real-world fuel economy over time. BP operates over 1,177 stations across the UK, making Ultimate one of the most accessible premium fuels on this list, which magazine specifically names BP Ultimate alongside Shell V-Power as the 2 most recognised premium fuel products in Britain, with documented additive packages above the legal minimum. BP Ultimate currently sits at around 1.85 per litre nationally, a premium of roughly 20 to 22 pence over standard unleaded that most independent mechanics across the UK consider well justified for any engine covering above average annual mileage. 2. Esso Synergy Supreme plus ExxonMobil has been developing fuel additive chemistry for longer than most people have been driving, and Esso Synergy Supreme Plus is the result of that research applied directly to what goes into your tank at over 1,250 UK forecourts. Synergy Supreme Plus is a 99-octane E5 Super unleaded, which means it contains no more than 5% ethanol compared to the 10% found in standard E10 petrol. For older engines, performance cars, and any driver concerned about ethanol's effect on fuel system components over time, that distinction alone is worth the price difference. The detergent package in Synergy Supreme Plus contains double the concentration of cleaning additives compared to Esso's standard unleaded. Esso confirms this directly, and the chemistry targets fuel injectors, intake valves, and combustion chambers simultaneously. The friction modifier reduces wear on engine components in a way that standard fuel simply does not address. Esso also partners with the Nectar loyalty scheme, meaning every litre contributes points that reduce the effective cost per fill-up over time. Independent testing consistently places Synergy Supreme Plus alongside Shell V-Power at the very top of the UK premium fuel market. Synergy Supreme Plus currently sits at around 162 pence per litre, making it approximately 1 to 2 pence per litre below Shell V-Power at most locations nationally. For 99-octane performance with a double-strength detergent package, that pricing makes it the most cost-effective true premium option currently available across the UK. 1. Shell V-Power Nitro plus Shell looked at what the UK fuel regulations required and decided it was not enough. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus delivers 7 times the detergent concentration of the legal minimum requirement. Not 7% more, 7 times more. That single figure explains why Shell V-Power has sat at the top of every serious UK premium fuel conversation for over 2 decades, and why independent automotive engineers consistently recommend it above every other option on British forecourts. The additive system inside V-Power Nitro Plus works on 2 levels simultaneously. The detergent component removes existing carbon deposits from fuel injectors and intake valves on every single fill-up. The nitrogen-enriched cleaning molecules then form a protective layer on metal surfaces that slows future deposit formation rather than simply reacting to what is already there. For modern GDI engines where combustion temperatures regularly exceed 1000 degrees Celsius at the injector tips, that 2-stage protection addresses the exact failure point that causes the most expensive, long-term engine damage. Shell operates 1,222 stations across the UK, which magazine names V-Power as Britain's most recognised premium fuel product, and independent mechanics across the country recommend it specifically for turbocharged, high-performance and high-mileage engines. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus currently sits at around 163 pence per litre nationally. For an engine you intend to keep running cleanly for 100,000 miles and beyond, there is no more complete fuel protection currently available at a British forecourt.